Hello friends! It seems that Ryan Grubb is excited to work with Mack. Did you see? Could he be the QB chosen by Bama? That would be a big surprise for everyone. If you bet that he will be chosen, subscribe to the channel. Kalen DeBoer brought Ryan Grubb now to lead the offense. The offensive coordinator brought with him not only his innovative vision for the game, but also a reinforcement that can be a key piece for the Crimson Tide's plans, Mack, who is already well known to the Tide, too. The connection between Grubb and Mack goes back to their days in Washington, where the young quarterback took his first steps in college football. Now, they meet again in Tuscaloosa, and expectations are starting to take shape. Grubb did not hide his enthusiasm when talking about Mack during interviews this week. He got right to the point. He has a lot of potential, obviously. That statement is music to the ears of Alabama fans, especially when you consider the recent history of the quarterback position in the program. Mack, who played under Grubb through the 2023 season, seems to have left a lasting impression on his coach. It's no wonder Grubb was one of the people responsible for bringing him to Washington when he was just 17. Now, with more experience and maturity, Mack arrives at Alabama with the mission of proving that he can be the right man to lead the offense in one of the most traditional programs in the country. What impresses the most about Mack, according to Grubb, is his ability to process the game. In a system as complex as Alabama's, that's essential. "I know he can process the offense," Grubb said, highlighting the young quarterback's intelligence. "That's something that can't be underestimated, especially on a team that always seeks to maximize its chances of success through well-executed strategies." Mack had the opportunity to learn from Michael Penix Jr., one of the most experienced quarterbacks in college, during his time at Washington. That learning seemed to be crucial to his development, and now he has the chance to apply it in a competitive environment like Alabama. But of course, nothing will be given for free. The competition for the QB1 spot is fierce, with Ty Simpson and Keelan Russell also in the running. Each of these players has qualities that can make a difference, but there is something special about Mack's story that deserves to be watched closely. His youth and trajectory so far show a player who is willing to work hard to achieve his goals. Grubb highlighted this when mentioning Mack's technical progress in recent months. "I thought he really did a great job working on his technique, throwing motion, things like that," the coordinator said. Those words indicate that Mack not only has natural talent, but also the discipline necessary to constantly improve. The competition promises to be intense, and it is likely that this battle will extend well into fall camp. There is, however, something intriguing about Mack being named the starting quarterback. Would it be a surprise? Maybe. But in college football, surprises are part of the charm. And if Mack can earn Grubb and DeBoer's trust, he could become a central piece of Alabama's immediate future. After all, the program has always been open to taking a chance on young talent, as long as they demonstrate commitment and ability to execute. This situation is a reminder of how dynamic and unpredictable college football is. Every season, new names emerge, new stories are written, and Alabama has a habit of being at the center of those narratives. With Grubb and Mack back together, there is a sense that something special could be in the works. It's too early to make definitive predictions, but the signs are promising. How Mack adapts to Grubb's system and how he stacks up against Simpson and Russell will be closely watched in the coming months. Alabama continues its path of excellence, always looking for ways to reinvent itself and stay on top. Mack's arrival and Grubb's presence at the helm of the offense are important pieces in this process. Whatever the outcome of this QB1 race, one thing is certain: Alabama will be ready for another exciting season, with talented players and a coaching staff determined to continue its tradition of success. The question remains whether Mack will be the name that goes down in history as the next great quarterback for the Crimson Tide. New recruit at Bama? Let's take a look. Jayden Hobson is a name that may not be widely known in the college football scene, but his trajectory thus far suggests he has the potential to become an interesting piece of Alabama's future. Hobson's story is a classic example of how college football is filled with stories of resilience, adaptation, and renewed opportunity. And by all accounts, he's about to write another important chapter in his career by joining the Crimson Tide program. Hobson arrived at Hillcrest High School as a relatively unknown player, transferring from Paul W. Bryan High School as a senior. Hillcrest coach Jamie Mitchell quickly recognized there was something special about him. He was a really weird, athletic, big guy, Mitchell told the Tuscaloosa News. That combination of size, mobility and skill caught the attention of many scouts, but Hobson was still seen as a rough gem, someone who needed time and space to show his full potential. However, Hobson's path since then has been full of twists and turns. After his brief stint at Hillcrest, he began to catch the attention of college programs, receiving offers from Memphis, Appalachian State, and West Virginia. Initially committed to Southern Miss in 2022, he changed course when he received an offer from Mississippi State and ended up joining the Bulldogs in the 2023 class. However, his time there was short-lived, marked by a redshirt season. He then moved on to South Alabama, where he unfortunately left the program before the season even started. This time seemed to be a time of transition and maturation for Hobson, something Mitchell acknowledged when discussing the choices many young athletes face when leaving high school and entering the college world. Now, at Alabama, Hobson is being molded for a different role, tight end. He comes to the Crimson Tide with a significant reduction in weight from his 2023 Mississippi State career. This physical change is part of an effort to maximize his natural abilities, combining his strength and mobility at a position that requires versatility in both the run and pass game. For Mitchell, this transformation is a positive sign. The skill set is there, the coach said, suggesting that Hobson has what it takes to make an impact in Alabama's tight end room. The tight end position is a crucial one in Alabama's offensive system, especially under the leadership of Kalen DeBoer and Ryan Grubb. Players like Marshall Pritchett and Caleb Edwards, who were also recently added to the roster, show that the program is investing heavily in the position. Hobson enters this scenario as a promising prospect, someone who can bring a new dimension to the Crimson Tide's offense. His ability to block defenders in the run game, combined with his ability to move as a receiver, could make him a valuable weapon for the team. But what really makes Hobson an intriguing figure is his journey to this point. He's not your typical five-star prospect who comes to Alabama with high expectations. Instead, he's a player who has had to fight for every opportunity, facing challenges and learning from his mistakes. That kind of resilience is something Alabama values deeply, and it could be the difference that allows Hobson to excel in such a competitive environment. Jamie Mitchell, who has closely followed Hobson's early development, is optimistic about what the future holds for the player. "I'm so grateful that he got a golden opportunity here, a chance to get back in the saddle," the coach said. Those words reflect the hope that Hobson can find Tuscaloosa to be the ideal place to resume his journey and prove himself. Hobson represents an exciting unknown. He has yet to prove that he can compete at a high level in college football, but the pieces seem to be falling into place for him to succeed. His natural talent, combined with the structure and support offered by the Crimson Tide program, could be the fuel he needs to flourish as a tight end. It remains to be seen how he will adapt to the fast pace of college football and how he will be able to contribute to the team in the coming months. In the meantime, Alabama continues to build a diverse and talented roster, always looking for new ways to stay on top. What will the 2025 season look like? Let me know what you think. Comment below.